That's great. HLS, what did you have for cross examination?
Yeah, you're number three. Like, I like it. It's a good line. I understand where it comes from. But out of all time, we ride together, we die together. Like, out of all the movies in cinema history, that's really your number three?
HLS, let me ask you one question.
Oh
Have you
boy, here
ever
we
said
go.
that line?
Yeah, with you.
Hello? Because we bad boys. We ride together, we die together, we do a podcast together. What are you even talking about? I feel like you are trying to disown our family name here. Are you trying to get dropped from the family? What is actually happening in your cross examination? I
It's
no,
not the best line. It's
I'm
not.
sorry.
It's not the best
I'm
line. It's a
sorry.
good line. It's a good line, but it's not the best.
Welcome back to another episode of the My 5 Cents podcast. We got So Juve in the building. We have HLS in the building. We have Mick from the Scene Snobs in the building. And we definitely still have Debra Bowers in the building. And our topic was the 5 best movie lines of all time. And Actually, Mick is going to start us off with the rehash of what our 5 cents were. Go ahead, Mick.
Okay, so to recap my 5 cents, that is right. I went with some iconic movie lines that maybe not everybody was going to choose, but I went with "You Ain't Heard Nothing Yet" from the jazz singer, 1927, first lines ever spoken on a movie, and that is right. Obi-Wan, help me, Obi-Wan. Yeah, hold on, let me just that real quick. Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope from Star Wars. Elementary, my dear Watson from The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes in 1939. Hello, my name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. From, of course, the wonderful The Princess Bride. Go check that out. And I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore from Network. That's my 5.
My 5 cents. I had "In the Force Be With You" by Star Wars. You had me at "Hello," Jerry Maguire. I see dead people. The Sixth Sense. "I'll Be Back" from Terminator. And "There's No Place Like Home" from the wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Wizard of Oz.
All right. And my 5 cents on the topic was at number 5, You Can't Handle the Truth, A Few Good Men. At number 4, Say Hello to My Little Friend from Scarface. At number 3, We Bad Boys, We Ride Together, We Die Together from Bad Boys. And number 2, You Complete Me from Jerry Maguire. And at number 1, I'm Not a Smart Man, but I Know What Love Is, Forrest Gump. So, Deborah, what is going to happen next is we're going to get into something that we like to call cross examination. So, this gives you an opportunity to ask us some questions about our list so that you can get your decision together. What do you have for us for cross examination?
Well, my first question is about Mick's number 5 choice from the jazz singer. It's just I understand the rationale behind it being the very first one, but as far as being the best, what do you guys think about that? I don't know about that being really one of the best lines.
Well,
I'd
we'll
never
ask the
heard of
rest, and then you can ask the best in a second. I'll give you the reason why.
I had never heard of it, and
That's fair.
um, so
I think there's so many wonderful movies out there that many people haven't heard of. Cinephiles probably hear the most. I do classify myself as a cinephile. Um, and for me, when it comes to the jazz singer, to have that such a planned out moment, first of all, it's a pivotal moment in invention of sound and playing sound and what we got, because really beforehand we didn't have anything that could do that where you can match it up so perfectly with picture and such, and now we do. And look at that, look what it changed in the form of filmmaking going forward, because now you had to play stories for sound. Beforehand you didn't have to worry about that. They didn't worry about what music was playing during it because every theater was different, because it was different organist, right? So all of this stuff. Sometimes they got sheet music, just so everybody knows. They did have some music, but any theater you couldn't control it. So my point on with that is, as we go forward, we add music, more and more music to sound, with the sound to it. Like, I mean, if we don't have that first line in The Jazz Singer in 1927, we don't have one of the most iconic movie moments, even just 12 years later, in Dorothy singing Somewhere Over the Rainbow. It's so truly important, and the fact that they were calling it out in the movie makes that such an important and pivotal moment in filmmaking history.
But it could have been any moment, right? I mean, it's
Well,
not like
no,
it was
because that was
ever
the
going to
first
have
movie.
sound. If that one didn't happen, no one was going to ever invent it, though, because there were
But they,
probably other people working on it too. I
well,
don't know.
fair. I mean, yeah, but then I would be talking about those
Listen to me,
moments.
I'm doing your cross examination. You guys do it.
No, but then I would be talking about those moments in that time and what importance that brought. But
This is
this
true.
is the moment. So you can argue all day long. Anybody could have invented it. And in all, in the multiverse, I'm sure I'd be arguing for any one of those quotes. But today in this world, I am arguing for The Jazz Singer in 1927 and the first in movie quotes.
I know that line, but I didn't know what that was from a movie. I've said it before, so kudos to you. But it's easily forgettable. It's easily
Fair.
forgettable.
That's fair. I understand.
Okay. Did you have anything else for cross-examination, Deborah?
I'm so curious. What's the deal with Jerry Maguire?
Go ahead, HLS. You could go first. I'll go
For
second.
me, that line, I thought it was like I said, it's become part of everyday pop culture. Like you might see in television, you might see, and I've said it myself, right, in jest amongst friends. Like, what are you talking about? You have me hello. It's one of those things where it's like it was so iconic when it came out. It was such a movie moment for fans, and it just became so memorable.
All right. So there were some heavy hitters in Jerry Maguire,
There
right? So
were, because there's
you
one on
you
my
had me
list.
at hello. You
Uh,
also had show me the
Show Me the
Show
money,
me
Money.
the money.
right?
That's on my list. I'm like, come
You-
on, I'm sales. Show me
Show,
the money.
show me the money, right? I went with you completely uh, for, I guess, two reasons. One, I guess the sensual nature of it. I have an uncle who is hearing impaired, and of course, he was just kind of speaking out what that person had said earlier in the movie, and she translated for Jerry that he was saying "you complete me." So that's the first part, and then the second piece is that quotable is so great that you have Heath Ledger in The Joker in Dark Knight biting off of that same one and saying to Batman, "You complete me." So like he didn't say you had me at hello. He didn't say show me the money. He said you complete me. So I think that out of the heavy hitters in Jerry Maguire, that you complete me, woo, it hits all the strings there.
Okay, so I real quick, I just want to sell my geek card for my channel if I can, and
Please.
into he was not quoting Jerry Maguire.
Let him know, Mick. Let him know. Let
There's
him know.
Please.
there's a very famous comic where in the same situation where Batman thinks that he wants to kill him, he's like, I don't want to kill you. You complete me. You complete this and who we are. And like so. And they did it and also in the animated series as well. But that came out around Jerry Maguire, so it might have been twisted into you completely. So, but I have to throw out the possibility that it's not.
Okay, it's a possibility, but I think we're going with Jerry Maguire. I think our judge is going to go with Jerry Maguire. That's what
The
she remembers it
possibility
from.
of my movie quote from The Jazz Singer existing in our plane of existence versus the possibility that it might be right.
There we
I
go.
want that
There we
noted.
go. There we go. Did you have anything else, Deborah?
I'm just kind of curious too about the network. That line, why is that so, Mick? Why is that such a big thing for you?
Oh, it's not just a big thing for me. If anything you watch in terms of movie montages, especially coming out of Hollywood, they show it on the Oscars all the time. It is a pivotal moment. See, I think what this is sort of something I study and I've talked about in my videos and such, where I think that we are so roped into the quotes that come out during our lifetime that in time, a lot of things go by the wayside, but we forget how iconic they were. That line from Network was as iconic, if not more, though, than any of the other ones that we talked about tonight, because it was such a pivotal moment, especially in the 70s with the recession going on, how tough everything was. The media um, was a sense of truth, but also we were having a lot of knocks against the media with Vietnam. Like there's so much that was coming out. TV was destroying a lot of things at the time in terms of ongoing media and how they were trying to pump out more and more and build to a 24-hour period. Network really told this wonderful story of like journalistic integrity and where this comes from and exploiting people. It's just a great tale. And I just think if anybody has a chance to check it out, they definitely should.
I agree. Such a great movie, and the days of opinions being on the editorial page are long, long gone.
Long gone. It's sad to say.
Long, long gone. Not 24-hour news with all the talking heads. And let's face it, they care about one thing, and that's ratings, because that determines how much they can charge for advertising, and it's capitalism. And I think
Right.
people forget that a lot of times when they look at the news. They're so credible, and yeah, there's
They're
always
all
that.
owned by companies.
They are.
Yeah.
They are. So
So, Mick, did you have anything for cross-examination?
I've already won. I mean, I don't really need anything. I don't have cross-examination. I can ask you all the questions you want me to ask you, but like, let's think about this. You can't handle the truth. I would hold on to that one because you can't handle all the truth that I won. Secondly, I did love your stories. So to all of yours. But I do have one question. Why Forrest Gump? Out of all of them, that one seems a little out of place compared to the reasoning for all the others.
Oh man, now you're getting in my bag. So around 2008, girl of my dreams broke up with me. Was in a little bit of a funk, and I don't know how, but Forrest Gump ended up on repeat over and over and over again. So as my Jenny, yeah, go ahead and get them strings out.
No, this is wonderful. This is a good story. This is how
Yeah,
your
no, it's a
audience
terrible
learns
story
from
because my
your
heart
life.
was actually it was crushed actually. So, my Jenny in real life kind of pulled the move on that. Thought we were gonna actually like lock it down, and she like ran out on me. Literally ran out on me, and that scene right there with Forrest. It's not just the words, but after that he goes outside and he takes his hands and he puts it on his hip, but it's not like a frontal. It's like with a backhand. It's a
That's like
backhand
a
hip. So
dad.
you
He
know
knew
that like
he knew he was going to knock
the
that man.
pain was in his back. This woman doesn't like. The reason why it's because I really related to that while I was going through my depression, watching Forrest Gump on repeat. So yeah, that's why
I
I was
feel
number
bad
one.
because
For me.
I'm laughing at your
yeah,
depression.
that is like the villain. She got you, man.
She got man, she got me. She got me.
Deborah,
I'm not
don't
gonna say her
fall
name,
for
but
it.
you know who you are.
Don't fall for it.
No,
She's trying to
hey.
get sympathy points. Don't do it.
Don't fall for it.
Jedi mind trick.
listen to
Don't do it. Don't
Listen to
do
this.
it.
You know
Deborah,
what though?
my list is real to me.
Nobody asked, but one time I got my heart broken, and she said, "Hello, my name is Neo Montoya." So I mean, I'm sad too.
Well, one time when I was in college, and no judging, it was the 80s, and I might have been partaking in some extracurricular activities, and we had the line that, and my name is Intigo Montoya, but I couldn't remember the rest of it. And so I said, "You stole my pencil box, prepare to die." I don't know why. But when you say that, that's the only thing I can think of in my mind is, "You stole my pencil box." I don't know why,
I
but
love it.
That's great. HLS, what did you have for cross examination?
Yeah, you're number 3. Like, I like it. It's a good line. I understand where it comes from. But out of all time, we ride together, we die together. Like, out of all the movies in cinema history, that's really your number 3?
HLS, let me ask you one question.
Oh
Have you
boy, here
ever
we
said
go.
that line?
Yeah, with you.
Hello? Because we bad boys. We ride together. We die together. We do a podcast together. What are you even talking about? I feel like you are trying to disown our family name here. Are you trying to get dropped from the family? What is actually happening in your cross examination?
It's
No,
not the best line. It's
I'm
not.
sorry.
It's not the best
I'm
line. It's a
sorry.
good line. It's a good line. But it's not the best. It's not the best.
It is the best for me. Once again, you went to okay. Let's go to
Yeah,
Google
but
and let me
you
Google the
see that,
5 best
Deborah?
lines.
It's the best for him. HLS. His is the best for him. Mine was the best for you. I thought about the just want that pointed
That
out.
was so smooth too. Nick, that was
That
so
was real
smooth.
smooth. That was
Like,
real. That was real
you got your
smooth.
James Earl Jones voice, that Morgan Freeman, and he narrated that.
Yeah.
I'm pulling out
Yes.
all the stops tonight, boys.
I
I
see.
tell you,
I
and you guys
see.
didn't make it very easy for me to choose either because you all had great criteria for choosing them. I totally got mixed with his because he's a cinephile, so he has a deep meaning in his, even though the rest of us may not get it always. I mean, we get it, but we don't feel as passionate about it that he does. But I respect his passion. And HLS, I'm with you. I love the iconic lines, and there's a certain, they have staying power. And I think that's important when you are looking at the best movie lines. There's a reason that they're the best. They're the ones that we remember and that are in our heads always. And the lots of people they are. And I really love the personal part that you put in that. So much. I do. When I was trying to come up with my list of the ones that affect me personally, I was really torn between, okay, do I pick the one that meant something to me and it's the best for me, or do I pick the one that maybe was who I think really is the best of all time because of its, for me, it's always about the marketing and the staying power for when I did my list. So you made it really
Okay.
difficult for me
And
to
Deborah, it
do.
sounds like you're like ready to make a decision.
Sounds
Yeah.
like you're
Now
I am
I'm
stalling.
supposed to.
ready.
Make
Yeah.
him a
I
winner
am
And
already.
ready.
yeah,
I
and I hold on. I do
okay.
have something for cross examination,
Okay.
which is HL list. Your list is trash. That's all I have for cross examination. Your list is trash,
Thank you. Let's move on.
and and we knew this, so we shall move on. So it is decision time, Deborah.
Yes, Deborah.
We want to know who is in third place.
I am going to say, and you guys probably aren't going to believe this, but I'm putting Mick in third place.
You made the wrong choice, but it's okay.
Well, I appreciate. I mean, I'm straight up a nerd. If I didn't want to look cute, I'd have unmatching wrinkled clothes and a pocket protector. And so I appreciate it so much. I do. I just think that it's really the best in your mind, and I understand your rationale for it. But for me, they were so obscure. They kind of took even the Sherlock Holmes. I know that is a famous and it's a great line, but I just didn't feel like it was the best from my perspective as far as being well known, and it's hard for me not to have that marketing aspect in it, I guess.
Fair.
Fair.
So
Now-
for that
All right,
reason, I
Deborah.
put you in third place.
I am not. Hey, listen, I'm not upset.
Well,
I've seen people be wrong on many occasions.
I
I'm in third place already. I can talk shit about anybody now.
you're gonna have movies and things that we're not gonna have as lay people because
Yeah.
you are more knowledgeable than we are.
Absolutely.
It's just in the grand scheme of it all, they were just a little too obscure for me to be able to think of them as the best.
All right.
And
So,
now,
Deborah, we do not care about number 2.
nope.
We just want who is number 1. Who is first place this week?
I am going to go with HLS.
What?
I am.
Let's
So she
go.
just doesn't know what she's talking about. That's fine. Okay.
No, what?
The reason I am is I love the personal connection
I
to
see dead people.
He just
yes,
quoted it.
Listen,
it's iconic. I mean, I
let
had
Deborah
no
speak.
idea, like your
Let
Bad
Deborah speak.
Boys line, it I mean, it doesn't, I don't remember it. It's not, for me, it's not the best, right? So I understand why it's so meaningful for you. But when I was thinking about my own list, and there are some that are so obscure that like three of my college friends would get that reference and that's it. And it would be really important for me. But is it really the best simply because I liked it? I want to think bigger than that. And so for me, they needed to be things that had an impact on a grand scale that and staying power. They lasted. So they didn't just impact movies for the rest of all time silently, right? A movie line isn't a silent impact. It's something that is said and somebody wrote and it ended up having tremendous meaning. And I think HLS's list is the only one that had all five of those.
Thank you.
Because he Googled it.
Thank you.
That's
Thank
why.
you.
Because
Yeah, he
he
went to
Googled
the
it.
AFI top 100 list and said, "I'm going to
Yeah.
choose 5
And
random
but he
quotes."
narrowed it down from those five, for those 100. And I will tell you that that probably wasn't easy to do if that's what he did.
Thank you, Deborah.
Um,
Thank you. Let's kill the noise. I want to hear more about you. What's on your list? What's on your top five?
True. I do want to
okay,
hear.
Yes.
so my number five is, I gotta put my glasses on because I like wrote it all in pencil. Um, My number five is definitely Clint Eastwood. Go ahead, make my day.
Oh, I was almost on my list. That's a good one.
Um, I mean, it was so iconic. It was everywhere. It's still today, if you say it, even young people know that reference. And it, man, it's such a badass line. So I wish I wrote it. Um, I tended to think about older movies, and there's so many iconic ones in those, and so I made an effort to try to think of a more recent movie that had a line in it that was iconic, that spread through and everybody used. And so I have The Hunger Games. May the odds be ever in your favor.
Hmm.
We heard that a lot, and a lot of young people would say it, and it, when I tried to think of a lot of recent movies and younger people movies, that one just kept coming back to me as one that people that had an impact on that for an earlier, I mean, a more recent movie. My number three is E.T. Phone Home. That was such a huge deal, and that movie, I mean, Spielberg always comes up with great lines, right? But that one stood out to me as, I mean, everybody. And it was so heart wrenching. He just wanted to call, I mean, it was iconic to me and one of the best with staying power on it. And I had a Star Wars quote as well, but mine is Yoda. Um, do or do not, there is no try. And I think because it was so motivational for me, and I just love it. I think it has staying power. I love it for an empowerment quote. I love that. Don't try, do it. Put your mind up to it and do it. So I really loved it for that reason, and I thought it impacted that movie. The Empire Strikes Back's a great movie, and I think that's part of it is that line in it. And number one, and if I have to read the whole thing because it's long, I would have to look at it on something else. But it is from Coach Carter, and every time I hear that movie quote, it gives me chills, and it's so inspirational for a young person quote that it is. Our deepest fear is not. Dang it. See if I can get it. It's our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we're powerful beyond measure. And it's a really long quote, but it's one of his students talking about how he's telling him, you're just afraid you're going to be terrible. And he's like, no, no, we're afraid that we're going to be powerful and that we're not ready for it. I love that quote. It is, um, it so another part, it is our light, not our darkness, that frightens us the most. I think that, because I get chills when I even think about it. When I saw that in the movie theater, I cried. It makes me emotional every time I think about it. And I think it really epitomizes youth, kind of, and how we don't really understand anything about teenagers either. But it just really hits me in the feels every single time.
All right.
Good list.
So we went out and we went and asked social media what they thought on the topic. And I'm going to go ahead and give you the people's poll. So I'm going to start with an honorable mention because I just thought this was funny. But someone put good luck from Marco Trapollo from Taken. I don't know, for some reason that just cracked me up.
That was funny.
When the guy says good luck. So that's the honorable mention. Shout out to Fabrice for sending that in. At number 5, we have Show Me the Money, Jerry Maguire.
Yep.
At number 4, we do have Hello, my name is Indigo Montoya. You killed my father, prepare to die.
Great movie.
From The Princess Bride there. So that was number 4. At number 3, we have There's No Crying in Baseball.
Oh, yeah.
From a
League of
Their Own. At number 2, we have To Infinity and Beyond.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah.
That was
Toy
on my
Story.
short list.
Yep. And at number 1, that's how you know the hood is with us. We have King Kong Ain't Got Nothing on Me from Training Day.
Great.
Denzel Washington there. That was number 1. That was what the people
I love
decided. That's the people poll right there. So we go ahead and we like to ask artificial intelligence what they think on the topic. So HLS, what did ChatGPT have to say about our topic today?
This was interesting. This was kind of a lot of oldies on this one, according to AI. And number 5, frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Gone with the Wind.
Gone with the Wind.
Great
Yeah,
line.
I mean, I had to force myself not to pick like from Casablanca and some of those because.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
What do you got, Mick?
No, I was only gonna say, the significance of a line like that, and like you were talking about, Citizen Kane or Casablanca, wouldn't have happened without my line.
Way to advocate for your list there, Mick.
Nice.
I feel like you're a veteran. I feel like you've done this before.
And number
Go ahead,
4,
HLS.
And number 4, episode 4, actually, of Star Wars: A New Hope. May the Force be with you, which we discussed. And number 3, Wizard of Oz, but a different line than one I had. Toto, I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
Mm-hmm. Commonly misquoted too.
Yeah, true. And number 2, I think you just mentioned it, from Casablanca, 1942. Here's looking at you, kid. And the number 1, and I'm surprised nobody said this. This was one of my honorable mentions. The Godfather. Gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
Yeah.
That's good. I also like the one from Jaws. We're gonna need a bigger boat.
Bigger boat.
The good one. You know what the most commonly it's not Star Wars, I Am Your Father, but the most not misinterpreted but misquoted quote is?
Mm-hmm. Which one?
Scotty.
Well, give us a hint.
Scotty.
He's never said it. He's never said "beam me up, Scott." He's just said he always called him Mr. Scott. They never called him Scotty. He's Montgomery Scott. Sometimes they would like mention Scotty, but they never said it when it came to beaming up. So that was always like misremembered. He always said 2 to beam up, Mr. Scott, 6 to beam up, something like that. So
yeah, he never said beam us up, Scotty. I think that must have been in a skit maybe somewhere and sometimes that'll catch on.
Yeah.
Like a Saturday Night Live skit, they'll say something a certain way and then that's what sticks and everybody
Yeah.
thinks of it.
True.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so that was Chat
Awesome.
GPT. So Deborah Bowers, it was an absolute pleasure having you on. Do you have any projects or any social media that you would like to promote right now?
I'd love to talk about and promote my podcast, Deals with Heels, where female entrepreneurs thrive. We are in the middle of airing season 2. We are almost finished recording season 2. We'll have 50 episodes, which is a really big deal for us. And we had a lot of really great guests. I'd love for everyone to check out my podcast, and you can find out more information about it and me at dealswithheels.com. And you can link to my Hexagon Media website and download my free ebook, 5 Steps to Having a Mindset for Success.
Nice.
All right. And is there any social media? Are you on Instagram or anything like that?
I'm on all of it, man. I own an advertising agency. I'm on more than I even want to be. So you can find me on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Threads, YouTube. I'm out there. TikTok, Snapchat. I have to be on
Oh,
pretty much all of it, and
All of
it's exhausting.
all
Sure.
right. So check her out. Check her out. Check her out. We're gonna go ahead and say good night to the people. Mick, start us off with your good night to the people. Oh,
Make turn on your
you're
mic.
on mute.
I muted it so I didn't have any, I don't want to say anything while she's talking about it. Listen, guys, I just had such a amazing time being here. It's an honor. I love hanging out with you guys and talking all types of varieties of things. So I really just appreciate you guys bringing me out and doing this. If you guys do like me, go check me out at the Scene Snobs, but don't worry about all that. Go hang out with these guys, my 5 cents. Go check out Deals with Heels. I cannot wait to. And thank you so much, Deborah, for judging tonight and being a part of it.
All right. Everybody, please check out Mick. He's definitely family of the show. There, we appreciate
Yeah,
him.
100%.
I'm
And
excited to check it out.
Thank you.
Sounds like you're
yes,
so knowledgeable about the movie industry that I love that. We have a budding film industry here in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
all right. So I'm gonna go ahead and say goodnight to the people. Deborah, your decision making was quite questionable. I think it was very suspect on this one. You fell for the Google trap. I don't even understand what happened. Now, normally we don't care about second place, but the fact that we actually beat Mick in something, I am so like beyond amazed because he whooped us in this trivia thing. We had this whole challenge with TTFT, and they wiped the floor with us. So
They
for us to
did.
be
They
on top
did.
of Mick, this is a win, y'all. This is a win. So good night.
I am in last place. I humbly accept it.
I mean, you are definitely the most knowledgeable, and I think I just had in my mind how I was looking
Don't
at
worry, you don't have to.
judging.
You don't have to
You don't have
explain
to
yourself.
defend
You don't
it.
have to explain.
You go
yourself.
for
Okay.
it.
We're just gonna take. We're gonna take our
I'll
laugh.
take the mantle again one day when they have me back on.
Yes, yes. And
Definitely has to happen.
HLS and our champion for this week. Please say goodnight to the people.
Deborah, you stepped in the right direction. Habitual line stepper is back on top, claiming my throne. Good night, everyone.
All right, and Deborah Bowers and our great guest. Please say goodnight to the people.
I am so grateful to be on your show. I had the best time. It was so much fun. And I hope everyone will check out all the other episodes. I watched a couple of them and I was hooked. I love the format. So much fun. Thank you for having me as a guest. And good night, everybody.